What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me. I want to jump into something with y'all right quick. This actually is kind of an addendum for a video I shared yesterday. It was about, men no longer approaching women and women not being happy about it. And lo and behold, I ended up getting a few comments on that video from seemingly the very type of woman that I was talking about, is experiencing men not approaching them and not being very happy about it. I mean no harm. I'm not trying to ruffle no feathers. I wasn't attacking nobody. I'm just stating what I believe the problem is. She said something about men have backed themselves into a corner or something of that nature. It's not really seeming like that. It's seeming like it's women who have backed themselves into a corner that they need to figure out a way to move on from, because it is what it is now. You got men choosing not to approach women in social situations. So how does that sound like it's the men at the disadvantage and need to work themselves out of the corner? That sounds like a problem for the women, not the problem for the men. If you're getting all cute to go out and get attention, and you're not getting it, it's you that has the problem right now. But what I wanted to add as kind of like an addendum to that was I came across more info that I wasn't privy to when I made that video. I kind of wish that I was. So apparently there's these like meetups that people do, like for dates, singles. They have these meetups, men and women meet up there. It's looking like these paid events, people pay to go to these paid events, men are not showing up to. Apparently it's like 90% women that show up to these events. Dudes is just not going. And this was pretty funny to me, because it's just not stuff that I knew about. I'm not out there dating. That same woman who commented, and I hope she comes back to this video and provides a little bit of context for some of the stuff that I'm saying here. It gives me her views and opinions. She was like, I should have been married for 10 years by now and all that sort of stuff. I mean, love, how do you know that I'm not? I in no way, shape, or form am implying that these are my struggles. I'm not out there on the dating market. I'm good. But I don't only talk about things on this channel that affect me personally. Some things that I talk about, they're just, just kind of social things or current things that are happening. Like earlier when I was talking about the stock crash. But women are going to these events expecting to meet some guy, and apparently there's no guys to meet. And if there are guys that come, it's like 90-10. Only 10% of the people that show up are men. And I don't know what's up with that. Maybe I could throw out a few ideas of what's going on with that, but I'm not really sure, because this is all new news to me. But if I had to like take a shot in the dark guess at what's going on here, why guys aren't showing up to those, it would be the fact that women tend to like prefer aesthetically some of the same type of guys. They tend to want a guy that's tall. They tend to want a guy that's in shape. They tend to want a guy with a 6-inch package, all of the sixes, 6-figure salary, 6 feet in height, 6-pack, 6 inches, all those sorts of things. So I mean, if you look around, most of the average guys, they just do not fit into that. It just is what it is, unfortunately, ladies. Most of the guys out here, they don't fit into your very strict standards. So if you're that, 5'7", 5'8" guy, a little bit on the pudgy side, why would you even pay to go to that? Because none of the women are going to be checking for you. I mean, this is a scenario where the women should be a bit more flexible and lower their standards just a little bit, maybe not be so rigid and lower their standards just a little bit. But oftentimes, from what I'm gathering feedback wise, the women go to these events with as strict of standards as ever. So it's like I said, beggars can't be choosers. You're going to an event that's basically situation critical for you. You know, if you are paying to go to an event to meet dudes, sis, it's situation critical for you. It's time to relax them standards. Maybe, just maybe, you not as fine as you thought you were. Because if you are paying to meet dudes ain't just walking up to you or whatever. You know, I mean, I'm sure that's a bit of a humbling reality check for you. So you go to these events, you pay to get in, and then you find that it's a bunch of other women there, and you're all competing for the same handful of guys that just managed to show up. You know, but many of the guys are going to be discouraged from going because, as I said, we understand that women like certain things in men, and you know, it's a lot of women that's like, oh, I'm not going to settle, I'll never settle or whatever. So and we hear that, we listen to what y'all say. So in all actuality, men are just reacting to the stuff that y'all say. You say, we don't listen to y'all at all, but here's a situation where we are and you don't seem to like it very much. We hear you saying you don't want to go to Applebee's. We hearing you saying you not going to date a short king. We hearing you saying you not going to date a dude that's making $50K a year and you're never going to settle. And what you're doing is you're eliminating the majority of potential options for you because you have your eyes set on a very small, you know, group of men. So you have that small group of men. That small group of men is not going to be at those events because they have options. And the majority of men who would like, they would entertain the idea of possibly going. They probably still wouldn't show up, but even entertain the idea, maybe I'll go, depending on how I feel or whatever. Y'all completely have discouraged them from even wanting to try because your standards are just too high for the average guy. We got a lot of women, beautiful as you may be, you're average ultimately. And we have average women that think they are above the average man. And that's a serious problem when people think that they're settling for the very people that they qualify for, you know. And I don't say that at all to be mean or disrespectful in any way. What I'm saying here is just 100% feeding you information. Information doesn't have feelings and emotions. Information doesn't have ill intent. So nothing that I'm saying here is meant to attack anybody or be insulting in any way. I'm just giving it to you pure and unfiltered, the way somebody in your life probably should have, but has avoided doing so because they just don't want to deal with you. They know if they tell you certain things, you're going to get an attitude, be ready to fight and whatnot. And sometimes it takes for an outside person to kind of tell you these things for them to really resonate. The people in your life who are close enough to you and should be able to, you know, give you a bit of a reality check on these sort of things. You've fought them on previous things when they tried to check you, to the point to where they just don't want the struggle. They would just rather let you just go out there, crash and burn, and just not even get involved. But that's my theory on what's going on here, why you have a dynamic of women paying to these, you know, paying to attend these events, and you got guys not showing up. Men understand that even when the women, you know, are average and in many cases below average, they still have these sky high standards of believing that they deserve some top 10% man. They want the man to be everything they're not ultimately. They want the guy to be fit when they're overweight. They want the guy to be making six figures when, you know, they cashing out EBT. You know, they want the man to be God-fearing and high morals, and also. And I'm not saying that these things are. I'm not saying these things are a bad thing. I'm just saying that when year after year after year after year is passing you by, and you still aren't landing somebody, or if you are dating and you find that nothing is lasting, nothing is working, who or what is the common denominator in all of your relationships? If you have been out here dating for the last 20 years and you haven't found yourself in, at the very least, a serious long-term relationship, let alone married, I think marriage should be the goal. But if you've been out here dating, if you're a 40-year-old woman, hypothetically, and you've been dating since you 18, that's 22 years. and you've had failed relationship after failed relationship, at some point you have to accept that the problem isn't everybody else, the problem is you, because you're the common denominator in all those relationships. So at some point you got to stop being like, oh, this guy did this guy did that, and be like, you know, well, what did I do? Why didn't this man want to keep me? What was it that I did to chase him away? Especially if you one of those 40-year-old ladies that have found yourself at one of these dating events. Like, man, you down bad. If you at one of these things, you are down bad. Like, ladies, I didn't know it was out here as rough for y'all as it is, because how could I know? You know, but I'm not trying to laugh at your pain. I'm laughing because it's shocking how this has shifted the way that it is. Because when I was out here on the market, you know, women still had the upper hand. You know, we were chasing, we were pursuing, we trying to get at y'all. You know, you looking good and we want to talk to you. So hearing that men have essentially just given up on that, I'm laughing because that's pretty shocking. It's a world I never thought that I would see. So ladies, you know, I'm not telling you to relax your standards. I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm just going to say that if what you are doing has not worked for you up to this point, maybe try something different. You know, maybe that guy that, you know, has been in your inbox and bugging you to take you out or whatever, who you just ignore because, you know, he's lame or whatever. I don't know. Let him take you to see a movie. Shit. Is it going to kill you to let the guy take you to dinner and a movie? I mean, you might like him. Deadpool 3 is out. Go see that. All right. That's all I'm going to say on this subject for now. You know, if I learn something else about this, then I'll make another video about it. This is a bit of a fun topic for me, as y'all can probably tell. So I appreciate y'all for connecting with me. If you like this video, please give it that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. And I mean, shoot, I'm going to check in with y'all soon. You know, maybe again today, maybe tomorrow, but I'm going to check in with y'all soon, man. I appreciate y'all. Later.